Alright, so here is my first kiln firing with actual things that I want to possibly use. So on the lower right hand side here, on top of that kiln prop, I've got a seal that I have made. You can see my initials on it. Well, when I made the seal, I forgot that when you carve that seal, it has to be the reverse image, the mirror image, so that when you press it into the clay it shows up properly. So I've actually carved it opposite of that on the other side. So I glazed it because, one, I want to see what the Celadon glaze looks like after it's been fired, and I thought it would be a nice thing to have on the actual handle of the seal too, to remind me which side I want to push into the clay. So, and then these are some terracotta tiles that I want to shingle my kiln with. So the kiln that I've been building over here, which will be for propane gas firing. You see the two holes that I have for my propane burners to come into the chamber. So that's been made out of cobb on a foundation of square, I think limestone or some sort of stone, square stones, and river rock in the center. And then underneath all of that, there's a base of sand that's in the pit, in the hole underneath it for drainage. So again, this will be tiled again with terracotta tiles, and basically I've just taken clay that was lying in a heap on the other side of the yard, which I found to be pretty nice looking clay. It's pretty much the same clay that I've got made the cob out of, but really all I did for this clay to make the terracotta tiles was just to take water and make a nice mixture with that, and then cut it into rectangle shapes, and then lay it over. I laid it over a spray paint can for the curve that I wanted. It happened to be long enough and a good curve shape, so that's the kind of tiles that I came up with. And we'll see how, if you can see the bottom of some of these tiles, the curved side, they look kind of gray. That's because in order for those tiles not to stick on the board when I was cutting them into shape, I put wood ash. So I took some wood ash. This is actually from charcoal, from the charcoal grill, and actually put that on the board while I cut the rectangle so I could get the tile off. Otherwise it will stick and you'll never get it off when it's that wet. But wood ash is also used as a fluxing agent in glazes, so it may actually be that when it comes out, that grayish will turn to a kind of a nice little sheen glaze on the bottom of the tiles. And if I like the look of it, maybe I'll even purposely use it, maybe to coat the tiles in the future to give them a little more of a sheen. But we'll see what it looks like when it comes out. So some of them you can see have the wood ash, some of them don't really seem to have too much of it on there. So we'll see what they look like when they come out of the firing. But I'm about ready to do a bisque fire. Well, not a bisque fire. This thing basically, that's all this thing really does, is gets up to about 1875 degrees Fahrenheit, which is right around cone 06, which is basically, again, the low end of the spectrum when it comes to doing like a bisque. You can do terracotta at that earthenware things at that firing. And these glazes that I have selected are also very low fire glazes, because again, that's all this kiln can do. So looking forward to doing some higher firings, but this kiln may do the trick as far as, I said, making my terracotta tiles for the big kiln. So we'll see how it goes, but thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.